Let me tell you something real today, something most people learn the hard way. Watch what happens when you stop chasing. Watch what happens when you stop explaining. Watch what happens when you simply match the distance someone gives you. That moment right there, that moment reveals everything. People get comfortable when you're always available, when you always respond first, when you always bend, adjust, understand, forgive, and show up. They start believing your presence is guaranteed. And once someone believes they can treat you any way, and you'll still stay the same, they stop valuing you. Not because you're not valuable, but because you've been too accessible without boundaries. Matching someone's distance is a mirror that reflects the true nature of their intentions and the depth of their care. When you consistently go out of your way for someone, respond immediately, and always make yourself available, it becomes easy for them to take your presence for granted. People often assume that your effort and attention are unconditional, that no matter what they do or how they treat you, you will always be there. But the moment you consciously match their energy and mirror the effort they put into the relationship, you create a space of clarity. Suddenly, the dynamic shifts and their true intentions become visible. You begin to notice who genuinely values your time, attention, and presence, and who only interacted with you out of convenience or habit. The reactions that arise in response to this shift are telling. When someone truly cares, even a small adjustment in distance prompts them to step up, reach out, or communicate with more thoughtfulness. Their efforts increase because they realize the connection is important and worth nurturing. On the other hand, those who were indifferent, careless, or overly dependent on your consistent availability may become uncomfortable or even disappear. This process of matching distance is not about creating conflict or proving a point. It is about revealing realities that were previously hidden behind one-sided effort. It shows you where you stand in the lives of the people you invest in, and helps you identify relationships that are reciprocal versus those that are transactional. Over time, this practice teaches you to recognize patterns in how others behave when they are not being carried by your overextension, offering insight into the authenticity of their intentions and the true level of care they have for you. When you match someone's distance, the reactions you receive reveal a lot about how they have been benefiting from your overgiving. Some people panic because they are suddenly confronted with the absence of the automatic attention and effort they have come to expect. They may start calling, texting, or checking in more frequently, realizing that the connection they relied on was sustained largely by your willingness to overextend yourself. This panic is often accompanied by a flurry of questions, explanations, and sometimes even apologies, showing that they never fully recognized your value until it was reflected back to them through this change in behavior. Others may react with anger or frustration, not because they are upset about your boundaries, but because they feel a loss of control. They are used to taking your time, energy, and presence for granted, and when that flow is interrupted, it challenges the convenience they had been enjoying. This anger can manifest in blaming you, guilt, tripping, or attempting to manipulate your emotions to restore the previous dynamic. These reactions are telling because they expose the reality that the relationship, in many cases, has been sustained more by your effort than by mutual investment. Then there are those who don't react at all, whose silence speaks volumes. Their lack of response demonstrates that their attachment was dependent entirely on what they could extract from you. And when that source is no longer abundant, their absence becomes evident. Observing these varied reactions gives you a deeper understanding of how different people operate. when they are no longer receiving unbalanced attention. It teaches you to differentiate between genuine care and convenience-based interaction, showing which relationships are worth nurturing and which were simply taking advantage of your generosity. And consistent presence matching someone's energy or distance is a powerful act of self-respect that often gets misunderstood as manipulation or revenge, but it is neither. It is simply a conscious choice to honor your own time, effort, and emotional resources, while expecting nothing more than what the other person has been giving. When you overextend yourself in relationships, whether personal or professional, it creates a habit where your presence and support become taken for granted. People grow accustomed to your constant availability, your willingness to forgive repeatedly, and your tendency to make yourself small or flexible to meet their demands. This pattern leads to imbalance, frustration, and often emotional exhaustion because you are carrying more than your fair share of the relationship's weight. By matching their distance, you are not being cold or punitive. You are merely aligning your effort with theirs, creating a natural equilibrium. This alignment sends a silent message about your standards and boundaries, showing that you will not be devalued or drained for someone else's comfort. It allows you to reclaim control over your own energy and fosters a sense of dignity that cannot be taken lightly. Many people mistake self-respect for ego or pride, but in reality, it is about protecting your emotional and mental well-being. When you match the distance, you are also testing the authenticity of the connection. Those who genuinely care will notice the change, step up, and contribute equally, while those who were benefiting from your overgiving will either adjust or reveal themselves through their lack of response. This practice cultivates clarity because it removes the fog created by one-sided effort, showing exactly who values you and who does not. Additionally, matching distance strengthens your internal awareness and emotional intelligence, teaching you to recognize patterns of reciprocity and neglect. It becomes easier to set expectations, communicate boundaries, and respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively to behaviors that previously left you drained. Over time, this approach fosters relationships built on mutual respect, where effort is shared, appreciation is genuine, and emotional labor is balanced. Self-respect, demonstrated through consistent and calm matching of energy, becomes a protective mechanism that ensures you invest in people who honor your presence rather than take it for granted, creating healthier dynamics in every aspect of your life. The right people respond positively when you match their distance because they recognize the value of mutual effort and respect. They don't see your boundaries as a punishment or a game. They see them as a reflection of your standards and the way you expect to be treated. When effort is balanced, these individuals naturally step up, adjust their behavior, and meet you where you are, creating a healthier and more honest dynamic. They understand that relationships are a two-way street, and that maintaining connection requires consistent participation from both sides. These people notice when you mirror their energy, and rather than withdrawing, they increase their own investment, showing that the relationship matters to them as much as it matters to you. Their reactions are rooted in genuine care, accountability, and a desire for reciprocity, not in fear or obligation. By matching distance, you allow these individuals to reflect on their own behavior and make conscious choices to maintain a strong connection. They appreciate your clarity because it removes assumptions, misunderstandings, and one-sided effort, which are often the source of tension in relationships. When both parties contribute equally, interactions feel effortless, respectful, and fulfilling, fostering trust and deeper understanding. This process also helps you identify the people who truly value you and are willing to work for the relationship versus those who only stay when they are receiving more than they are giving. The right people do not shy away from matching energy. They embrace it, knowing that mutual effort strengthens bonds and ensures that neither person is overextended or undervalued. Over time, this awareness allows you to prioritize relationships with those who naturally adjust and reciprocate, creating a circle of support, respect, and genuine connection. It shows that healthy relationships are maintained not by chasing or overcompensating, but by mutual recognition, shared responsibility, and an honest balance of presence and effort.